Here I am about, what, 2 or 3 clicks from the Greek border on the Bulgarian side. And we're at a complete standstill. Europeans like getting out of their cars when they're stuck in traffic, which I find interesting. This is Tom and Raja. Raja, hello. He's a friendly one. It's sunny and nice, getting a little warm, but looking forward to a good weekend in Thessaloniki, if we ever get there. So here I have finally arrived at Thessaloniki, which is all behind me. It's pretty amazing. From the top of my friend's apartment building, there's this brand new church over here. Pretty epic. There's a little elementary school next door to it, all with the terracotta roof tiles and everything like that. Just looking around Greece, kind of like my first experience of Greece, is like the smell of the ocean air. And, I don't know, there seems to be a lot of old world just driving through the very, very, very quintessential European labyrinthine streets and everything like that. Just get here, looking over the city. It's totally amazing. Over that way is Mount Olympus. See that? And I don't know, I guess I'm gonna go explore a couple of markets in the city center, maybe hit the beach, and that'll be a good weekend, I think. Very nice. So here I am. I have finally gotten to my final resting place of the evening here in Thessaloniki. It is absolutely splendid. I'm walking next to a house that's actually fused to a 1,000-year-old wall. Not kidding. It was like built in the 1100s or so around Thessaloniki, and people literally just have their houses built right onto it. It's so strange. They're moving to preserve it, though. They're rebuilding it and doing all these things, and I mean, obviously it's clearly got a lot of historical importance. But what they're doing is making it, they're sectioning it off and making it less residential, more. I'm not going to say touristy, but just historically preserved. And it's really amazing. The wall itself has got to be 3-4 meters thick. In the thinnest of the places. Everywhere you go, there's people just playing, climbing all over the wall, right outside the apartment that I'm staying at for the evening. Like, there was a couple out there just like necking and being all dirty. Had a lot of fun at the beach today. That was kind of like the final ride for the evening before going out and checking out dinner. Had a great lunch, had some really amazing food at lunch, and then saw boatloads of naked people at the beach, which is always fun. But yeah, here I am in Thessaloniki. The town is wonderful. It's hot as balls. And speaking of balls, right down the street from the apartment that I'm going to be staying at tonight, there's a place that actually it's called the Unspeakable, and it's a bar that actually sells sheep balls to its patrons. If they opened at a normal time, I would be dining on sheep balls this evening, but unfortunately they open at like midnight or later, and I'm spent. I don't think I'll make it, but if I'm still up at that time, I will go and eat some sheep sack. So anyway, off to get some grub. Alright, so here I am in the restaurant district of Thessaloniki, and it's morning time, so there's not too many of them open. It's about 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock, and it's really, really great. You can walk block after block and see all of these really cool restaurants. There's fountains all over the place. There's sort of abandoned buildings that are falling apart right next door, but they're probably 400 years old and derelict. You know, it's totally, I don't know, otherworldly. And there's block after block after block. You can imagine what this place looks like when it's, you know, packed and full of people. Totally noisy, totally crazy. People just kind of sitting, smoking, eating bread, talking about whatever. And really, it's just block after block. It's really kind of crazy how far it goes. And it's right next to these big, crazy buildings that have government importance or historical importance, or are, you know, revered for one reason or another, or they're state buildings, or they're, you know, whatever they are. They're right next to, I mean, they're right here nestled in with the common crowds and whatever everybody does after work. It's pretty incredible. Like, you don't experience that kind of thing in the States, you know, or really even in a lot of the farther west countries. Totally decked out. Everybody puts a lot of work into the food, into the detail of the buildings, into the architecture, everything about it. So, anyway, time to eat something. I had a great time in Thessaloniki. Everywhere you look, there's something old right next to something new. There's street art all over the place, and it's absolutely exquisite. It covers almost every wall. The unfortunate part to this being a city is that there's a lot of refuse, a lot of homeless. Public drunkenness is kind of accepted, so you see a lot of remnants from the night before. And the markets are incredible. The markets are just great. They're full of really, really amazing, friendly people that are really eager to get their picture taken. They smile, they're engaging. And the colors, the smells, everything around you is kind of a sensory overload. It's a really amazing experience. The olives, oh my God, they came in like a million different colors. Another part of the sensory overload is the colors and the scents. And then of course the meal at the end of the day was absolutely splendid. There's usually like a seafood salad along with the meal. I ate some spinach and lentils. I even had this sort of Greek version of Sprite. And of course, no meal is complete in Greece unless you eat the bread.